Have you ever seen a plant and thought it flew in from another planet? Today we'll talk about the most unusual, strange, and absolutely stunning flowers and plants that look as if they truly are aliens from space. Nature is a remarkable artist. It creates plants so unusual and fantastic that sometimes it's hard to believe they grow right here on Earth. Some flowers resemble insects, others look like dancing birds, still others appear to be an entire alien armada. In this video, we'll look at 5 of the most exotic and alien plants, discuss how they grow, why they look the way they do, and most importantly, how you can grow them yourself. If you love the unusual, if you enjoy surprising your friends and family, if you're looking for plants that will become the crown jewel of your home or garden, this video is for you. Bird of paradise. Imagine this: bright orange and blue petals, sharp lines, an implausible shape. When you first see the bird of paradise flower, you don't believe your eyes. It's called Strelitzia reginae, and it looks like a bird in flight. Not just hinting at a bird, no, it actually depicts one. Beautiful, exotic, completely otherworldly. The flower has a clear structure. Orange sepals form a crown, while a long blue pistil with a yellow tip extends like a bird's beak. Creates the impression that a bird has just taken flight and is about to soar away. It blooms for a long time. Under good conditions, a single flower can delight you for several weeks. The plant can have several flowers simultaneously, creating the impression of an entire flock of birds soaring in the air. Where does such a strange shape come from? Here, nature's ingenuity is at work. In nature, these plants grow in South Africa, where they're pollinated by sunbirds. A bird lands on the flower trying to reach the nectar and gets covered in pollen. The flower's shape is perfectly adapted to the size and weight of the bird. This isn't just beautiful design. It's an efficient system refined by nature over millions of years. How do you grow the bird of paradise? First, you need to know that this plant requires patience. It grows into a large bush up to 1.5 meters tall. It loves warmth and bright, direct light. If you live in a warm climate, you can grow Strelitzia outdoors in a protected location. If your climate is cooler, keep the plant indoors on a windowsill, preferably on the south side. The soil should be well-draining because the roots fear overwatering. Strelitzia doesn't like wet feet. Water so that the top layer of soil dries between waterings. Water more often in summer. Reduce watering in winter. The plant enters a dormancy period and needs less water. An important point: Strelitzia grows quite slowly before its first bloom. Insect flower. Now let's look at a flower that most resembles an insect. This is the Ophrys orchid, or bee flower. When you look at this flower, you see a bee sitting on it. But it's not a bee. It's the flower itself. This is one of the most striking examples of mimicry in the plant world. The flower has a brownish-red color that resembles a bee's body. The flower has stripes similar to stripes on a bee's body. There's even a sheen, as if the bee is wet with dew. The petals are arranged to create the effect of wings. And most amazing, this flower emits a scent similar to the scent of a female bee during reproduction. This isn't just a resemblance. It's a complex attraction system developed by evolution over thousands of years. Male bees arrive, deceived by the flower's appearance and scent, attempt to mate with the flower, and in doing so, pollinate it. The flower literally uses the bee's reproductive instincts for its own benefit, and the bees become its pollinators without even realizing what happened. There are many species of Ophrys with different types of imitation. There's a flower that looks like a wasp, another that looks like a fly. Each flower has adapted to a specific insect species. The scientific name Ophrys means resembling a bee, and this name is fully justified. Growing Ophrys is more difficult than other plants. This plant requires special conditions that aren't always easy to create at home. Lots of light. The orchid needs bright but diffused light. Direct sunlight can cause burns. A well-draining soil mix, you must use orchid bark, moss, and perlite. The right amount of moisture is critical. The soil should be moist but not wet. The top layer should dry slightly between waterings. Use soft water, preferably rainwater or distilled water. In winter, the plant needs a cold rest period. The temperature should drop to 10 to 15 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 months. Without this period, The flower may not bloom or will bloom weakly. This requirement often becomes a problem for beginners. Ophrys orchids are rarely found in stores because they're difficult to grow. If you find this plant, it will be a rare treasure for any collector. Ophrys blooms in spring, usually in March-April. The flowers last a long time, sometimes several weeks.
Venus flytrap.
Now let's talk about plants that not only look strange but also behave strangely. The Venus flytrap is a carnivorous plant. Catches, kills, and eats insects. It's the only plant of its kind in North America that actively hunts animals. The plant has leaves that look like mouths with sharp teeth along the edges. Inside each mouth leaf are 3 sensitive hairs. When an insect touches one of these hairs twice, or when 2 hairs are touched simultaneously, a miracle of nature occurs. The leaves snap shut at incredible speed. Literally in fractions of a second, in 20 milliseconds. It becomes a trap from which the insect cannot escape. The teeth along the leaf edges interweave, creating a hermetic chamber. The insect is caught in the trap. After the leaves snap shut, the plant secretes digestive juices similar to animal stomach acid. This juice slowly dissolves the insect, and the plant absorbs all the nutrients. The entire process takes several days. This is a predatory plant, hunting on a microscopic level. Where does this behavior come from? The Venus flytrap grows in swampy areas of North America with poor soil, low nitrogen, and other essential elements. To get enough nutrients, the plant developed this hunting strategy. Trapping insects is a way to obtain the missing nitrogen and phosphorus needed for growth. Growing the Venus flytrap is difficult but possible. The main rule is, don't touch the plant unnecessarily. Every time you snap the plant's traps shut, it expends enormous amounts of energy. The leaves contain sugar and acids necessary for digestion. If you constantly touch the leaves just for entertainment, the plant will quickly become exhausted and may die. The plant loves light but prefers diffused light. Direct sun can cause leaf burns. The soil should be very acidic and poor. This is important. Many people make the mistake of fertilizing the Venus flytrap. Never do this. Use a mixture of peat and perlite in equal proportions. Water only distilled or collected rainwater. Chlorine and mineral salts from tap water are harmful to the plant and can lead to its death. If you don't have distilled water, boil water and let it cool. Humidity should be high, around 70%. Summer temperatures should be normal, around 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. In winter, a cold rest period at around 10 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 months is desirable. Without this period, the plant won't bloom. In summer, you can place the plant outdoors in a damp, wind-protected location. In the open air, the Venus flytrap will catch insects on its own, which will strengthen the plant. But make sure it doesn't dry out. Darlingtonia. Let's return to carnivorous plants that look even more exotic. Darlingtonia looks like a snake preparing to strike. A long stem, a swollen head, a sharp appendage resembling a snake's tongue. This plant is from California, rare and listed in the Red Book. In nature, it grows only in certain swampy areas of California and Oregon. How does Darlingtonia hunt? Insects enter the plant's hollow head, lured by nectar secreted along the entrance edges. Inside the hollow sac are many transparent windows, areas of thin tissue that let light through. The insect mistakes these windows for an exit and flies toward them. But the windows don't lead outside. Confused, bumping into transparent walls, the insect falls downward into a narrow passage where the bottom of the sac, covered with digestive juices, awaits it. This is a lethal trap designed by nature with engineering precision. The plant's shape isn't just beautiful. It's an efficient hunting mechanism, a prototype of modern insect traps. The plant literally constructs an architectural structure that guarantees prey capture. This cobra hunts more quietly and discreetly than the Venus flytrap, but no less effectively. In a season, a single plant can digest hundreds of insects. Darlingtonia blooms after its rest period, usually in May-June. The flowers are purple or reddish, unusual in shape, but less conspicuous than the trap itself. Growing Darlingtonia at home is possible but requires experience and patience. The plant loves cold water. Summer temperatures should be room temperature, 20 to 22 degrees Celsius. But in winter, a cold period at 5 to 15 degrees Celsius is desirable. This is a cold-loving plant, unlike many other carnivorous plants. Like the Venus flytrap, Darlingtonia grows in acidic, poor soil, peat, sand, a bit of perlite, water only distilled and soft. Hard, mineralized water is harmful. The main difficulty is achieving the correct rest period. Without a cold winter, the plant won't bloom and will weaken year after year. In summer, the plant needs bright light, almost full sun. In winter, during rest, the light can be dimmed. Darlingtonia grows slower than the Venus flytrap. It requires more time to adapt. But if you meet these requirements, the plant will reward you with stunning purple flowers of unusual shape and a fascinating hunting spectacle. Dracula orchid. And finally, an orchid that looks like the face of a small monkey or bat. Dracula got this name because the scientific name plays on the Latin word Dracula, which means little dragon. But actually, this legend is incorrect. The name more likely means little devil because the flower looks exactly like that. The flower has an oval shape, 2 large side appendages that look like ears, and the central part resembles a little face with eyes and a nose. The flowers are small, about 2 to 3 centimeters in diameter, but very delicate and expressive. The color is usually yellowish, brown, reddish, or even nearly black, depending on the species. Each flower is unique, like a face. Several dozens of flowers can bloom simultaneously on the orchid, creating the impression of an entire family of little creatures looking at you. This is very amusing and very beautiful at the same time. Most amazing is the scent. Many Dracula species emit a strong odor resembling spoiled fruit, fish, or even feces. This isn't a pleasant smell for humans, but for flies that pollinate this plant in nature, it's the smell of paradise. The plant literally imitates the scent of decomposing organic matter, attracting scavengers. Dracula grows in the cloud forests of the South American highlands, at altitudes from 1.5 to 3,000 meters. In nature, this is a very humid and cool place with fog almost every day. The temperature there doesn't fluctuate much, usually 10 to 15 degrees Celsius year-round. To grow Dracula, you need good ventilation. The plant doesn't like stuffy, stagnant places. High humidity, a minimum of 70% year-round. Orchid substrate, well-draining. Orchid bark, sphagnum moss, a little charcoal. Regular watering but without standing water. The soil should remain moist but not wet. Temperature around 20 degrees Celsius in summer, around 15 in winter. The range isn't large. Dracula doesn't like heat. If your house is hotter than 22 degrees in summer, it can be difficult to grow this orchid. Bright but diffused light. Direct sun harms this plant and causes leaf burns. The plant prefers an east or west-facing window where there's morning or evening sun but not midday sun. Dracula usually blooms in autumn-winter, producing long flower stalks with many flowers. Blooming lasts a long time, sometimes several months. The plant is rarely found in stores because it's difficult to grow and requires special conditions. But orchid enthusiasts value it for its exotic appearance, unique character, and interesting scent. An orchid collection that includes Dracula speaks to a collector's seriousness. Conclusion. The world of plants is full of wonders. Nature created plants that look like aliens because it helps them survive and reproduce. Each strange shape, each unusual color, each odd behavior, is the result of evolution and adaptation to the environment over millions of years. The bird of paradise attracts birds with its shape. Ophrys flowers deceive bees with their appearance, scent, and even tactile sensations. The Venus flytrap actively hunts insects with lightning speed. Darlingtonia sets hidden architectural traps. The Dracula orchid enchants with its exotic appearance and mysterious scent. All these plants are perfect in their environment. They're not strange. They're simply adapted to the life they lead. And most wonderful, many of these plants can be grown at home. You can have your own piece of exotica that will amaze you every day, delight your eye, evoke admiration from guests. Your home can become a place where alien creatures from the plant world dwell. Green, living, breathing creatures that prove that nature is far more inventive and creative than any science fiction writer. Start today. Choose one plant from those we discussed. Begin with something simpler, Strelitzia or Dracula orchid. Study its requirements thoroughly. Create the right conditions for it. And enjoy the growing process. This isn't just a hobby. It's contact with nature, understanding its logic, beauty, and genius. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other videos about the amazing world of plants. And write in the comments which of these plants did you like best. Which would you like to grow first? What other exotic plants would you like to learn about? See you in the next video.